Okay, so this is like a bundle of 4, but I'm only going to showcase 3 of these. This is an older laptop. He did give me a bunch of power cords, but it seems I only have power cords for 3 out of the 4, but basically 2 out of the 3 in this video here. So this is a older Toshiba. You know, I found the power brick for it, so we get that. I do need to repair it because it's stuck in a little bit far. We do get, you know, this is as far as I got. It's making sure I had the right power adapter for whatever, so I didn't have to dig around and find it. But we do have, like, I think a battery light telling me that the battery is pretty much toast, and then power indicator. It's a power button up here. I don't know. This is a. It says speakers on here. I don't know what it says. It is designed for Windows XP, and it says Intel. It says Celeron. I don't see nothing else. So I'll show everything else once we see what happens when I hit the power button. So just check this out. Okay, so it does turn on. You can see that in the screen. We're getting Toshiba. In touch with tomorrow. So that's when you're gonna. That's when you want me to come back tomorrow. See if it works. I don't see it doing anything. Like, is it doing anything farther than that? Okay. Maybe it's just taking its time starting up. I can hear a fan running. I don't hear a hard drive. I think it had a DVD-ROM in it. Did it? Yeah, it had a DVD-ROM in it. So maybe it's not a DVD-ROM. Maybe it's a CD-ROM, but no disc is in there. Okay. We're doing anything. Doesn't look like it. Oh. It says IDE 01 error. Okay, so now it's actually doing something. We got a light bar here, and now it's going to go to disk. I don't have a disk. So it seems like the hard drive is probably bad in it, or it doesn't have one. So you just turn this off, because, you know, I just want to see if the boot, at least, well, this didn't boot, but it turned on and powered on. So we'll walk around it. So here's the power jack. It says replacement on here. So it is a replacement. Is a replacement power. 15 volts and 5 amps. So this is the adapter I was using here. So you just kind of look at this thing. So in the front, what do we have? I don't know what this is. Have some little block here. Looks like a volume key, so we have volume, little volume scroll wheel here. Okay, and then, yeah, it is a DVD-ROM, so we have a DVD-ROM phone line, okay. And the back, nothing important. You see what I mean, the ports in here? Like VGA, 2 USB ports, Ethernet, ports shoved in there, so that would be needed to be fixed. I guess I should have grabbed my little tool. So this is going to be where the battery is. Okay, but how do you get it out of here if you unlock it? Okay, there we go. So there's the battery. It looks like the bottom cover detaches from it. Yeah, like, so there's the battery. Toshiba. So it's probably original battery. It says it's 10.8 volts, and it's supposed to be 3600 milliamps. So you know this is probably dead. This is definitely no good. No one probably replaced this ever. So then this one says RAM. So you see what we have in here. So we have 1 stick of RAM, and I don't have any any RAM like this at all. So then here's the RAM. What do we got? It doesn't say. Nope, it's 256 gigs. So I'm guessing this is where Wi-Fi would be at. Or no, Wi-Fi is probably right there. What is in there? This system does not support. I'll have to, so this has got to be the Wi-Fi, and this is. No, I see where the. Obviously, the hard drive is just right here. Is captured, and my screw's not working again? No, it's not working again. Put a screw in here, right? Oh, you can see the heatsink right on the side. What are you guessing? Like 8 gig drive? 8 gig drive. So we have a 30 gig hard drive, which obviously wasn't reading. The OS has been maybe wiped, or the drive's bad. And I don't have any adapters like that anymore because I don't really mess with these, but figure it'd help them out. Because there's like one particular one I just was really interested in. I figured I could get these running. You know, do the test like everyone says. Put Linux on that. Put Linux on that. Yeah, that'd be perfect for Linux. But, you know, like put XP back on this. Probably be good. You know, just XP. Put Windows, just go ahead and put Windows XP on it. The key's still there, so it has Windows Home, and I can read the whole key. I know it's not all damaged. Okay. So this is where the fans and stuff are going to be at. You see how dirty they are then. Because I can see the heatsink right here. Obviously I'm wearing a big giant bear sweater in 2 different sizes. Oh, there's another one here. This is pretty nice. It gives you access to this really easily. Yeah, that's the only thing getting annoying with that screwdriver is now. It's like lost its magneticness. So yeah, there you go. Look at that. And it's actually decently, doesn't look that bad for dirt wise. So we do have a socketed CPU. Here's the fan. Here's a little heatsink with the pipe. That's pretty nice, right? You gotta tell me that's not nice. That's pretty bad when you're like, oh, I got access to change this, you know, to upgrade the CPU or not. Yeah, that's pretty, kind of seems pretty bad. Like that's a added benefit. You gotta pay extra now. Like you gotta pay for that feature now. If you want to have access to this, your memory, your cards, all this, you have to pay extra. You have to pay, you have to pay extra for that kind of thing. Like I said, we already checked the RAM. This has a lock on it, a different kind of bit for it, so I don't have one of them over here. I do have in my other kit. And this is definitely going to be the Wi-Fi. Right? Or does this even have Wi-Fi? Like this is probably just the, yeah, does it? Ethernet jack right here or whatever. Definitely not Wi-Fi. Who knows? I don't know much about this computer, honestly. Maybe at one time I worked on it before, but I just don't remember. Like I said, you know, there's the look at this one. Video's probably super long already. 10 minutes, right? So you just go ripping into, just set this one over on the bed. Oh, I was gonna say it has one of the little cars in it, but it doesn't. So what we'll do is show off the next one, which I don't have. I don't have a power adapter to, which kind of sucks. It's another older machine, as you can see here. And then we got "Such a Nice Day. Please don't whatever it up." This is a older kind. You just put that over there. So we got a Dell Inspiron 3000, and I don't have this stuff. I don't have this plug this size, at least not one in this kind of voltage. Yeah, I don't have anything to fit that. That's weird that it's that much different. Let's just walk this over. So, screen is nasty. That's probably super bright for you, but I'm trying to see if at least I see any cracks in it, and I don't see any cracks in it. And obviously it has an XP sticker, not in here. No juice in the battery. Let's go to got a DVD-ROM on this side, just a power plug here. Then phone, Ethernet, VGA. USB ports broke in this one, and then same thing here. So we got three USB ports, but these are broke. It just has a little wire in here. Doesn't look like none of them are short or hitting anything. The card's gone. So just check the potential of what this is. This should be, I don't know. Usually hard drives on Dells usually just pop out the side. And this key's on here too, and we can still see the key on here too. So this is something else we could just throw XP on. And then, so the drive in here is another IDE drive. So maybe I can, since they don't have the stuff for this, for the power adapter for this, I can check this IDE drive in that Toshiba, and maybe it will boot from this drive here. So we'll probably do that in another video. So we got an 80 gig. So this guy had an 80 gig hard drive in it. Let's put this back on here. And so we got an 80 gig hard drive in here. IDE. At least it doesn't have like some of the other ones have like adapters, right? It goes from IDE to some weird adapter. And maybe if some of these don't, like I could get that Toshiba to work with this hard drive and maybe even increase some of the memory in it. So in here we do have looks like a Wi-Fi card, and we have 2 sticks of RAM. They're both 256 gigs, and they obviously are just PC2, so this PC2, so it's DDR2, so we have a total of 512 megabytes of RAM. So that's not bad. Go ahead and screw this back on here. Yeah, this is the only one I won't be able to test and power up because I do not have the adapter to, which I already said that a bunch of times. We've seen the hard drives 80 gigs, and you have 512 of RAM. What is this slot here? I don't know. Oh, and here is the heatsink. I guess that goes right on the die itself, because here's the fan, and here's the heatsink. So blows right out the back. That's still kind of nice too for cleaning purposes. You can't, unless the CPU's underneath there. And obviously, if you watched enough of this video, you could probably leave that in the comments below what CPU exactly this thing would have come with. And we do have the battery. And this says it's a Dell Inspiron B130 laptop. That's what this labeled on here. What was that? Is that what this was? Oh no. Yeah. This says 1300. This says B130. But that's their own little label. They print it, and it is a Dell battery. Yeah, it'd been nice if that battery worked on, you know, like this other Dell I'm about to show, and then I could just charge it up and then put it on here and see if it works. Okay, so just set this one over. As you can see, you know, like, I'll give you a little bit of, probably, yeah, you can see it where the metal's broken on these two. And then a nice fancy logo. And this had XP on it too. So let's go to the next one. Now these are always kind of, these, not this exact model, like the bigger model of these I always have liked. So then, I don't know what this is named here. Look like the hard drive screws are out. So the hard drive's in here. So this at least has a SATA hard drive in it. And this drive is, what size is it? 80 gigs. So this has an 80 gig hard drive in it, SATA hard drive. So it's a little bit newer than the other one. The battery doesn't indicate anything. Let's check the RAM. I know RAM's under here. Yeah, the bigger models have, you know, the graphics cards that you can actually change out, or an upgrade or downgrade or whatever you want to do. Okay, so then in this one, we still have PC2. This first stick of RAM is 512. I think I have some 1 gigs, and this is a 512, so they're a matching pair. I think I have some 1 gig sticks. So if this guy works, and like, it came with a power adapter too, but I'm just going to use my Dell one here. It should work perfectly fine. And see if this one powers up or not. And what is this? That's weird that and maybe sometimes these older ones, the batteries kind of work, right? Let's even check that out if it's a replacement. So no, this is original Dell battery, 11.1 volts, 85 watt hours. So this is more likely the original battery too. You never know. Usually a good indicator is the colors of them. It does look a little different, so it kind of indicates to me it was newer. The pads are gone. Okay, and then back here we have VGA, 2 USB ports, you know, same thing, phone line, Ethernet, 2 more USB ports, a headphone jack, a microphone, SD card. Has another card in here too. What is this card that I can't get out? Okay, there we go. Or is just a blank? Okay, never mind. It's just a blank. Yeah, I was hoping it had another card because it has a little slit going up. Normally it doesn't. You know, that's usually like a card does that, not a fill-in. And then we'll turn this. You see here it says Inspiron. I remember I said what it was. Like so this is an Inspiron 1501. We do have a key completely missing here, so the over key is completely missing. Obviously it's not going to turn on under power, so the battery is completely dead. And we'll plug this guy in, see if we get any kind of indicator lights on it. So we're getting a battery light that says the battery is bad. Okay, we're getting activity. I just heard the hard drive kind of make this little noise. We're not getting anything on the screen. Okay, now we are. It's just really dim. Okay, now it's coming back. What do we got? This screen is so dirty and glossy. So then we're getting a battery warning. Warning, the battery cannot be detected. Okay, yeah, I know system will be Unable to charge the battery. Okay, yeah, because it's not detected. Press any key to continue. Or we can push F2 2 times to enter setup. F12 and any key to boot menu. So you just hit F2 and see what we got. So we got an AMD Avalon 64X2 and it's showing the model there. We have it's showing a hard drive on here, fixed disk. So we're showing that. So F10. Yes, I want to exit and see if this is gonna boot into the operating system. Should have XP on it. Maybe Vista? What do you think? Vista, XP, or nothing? Okay, boot menu, F12. Or any key to continue. Internal hard drive. Okay, fan's spinning up. We're getting our little cursor over here. Windows setup. So is there a disk in here? Press F2 to run auto system recovery. So do we have a, it looks like we're booting from the disk, a disk. Yeah, we're running off a disk, a homemade disk. Windows XP. Don't use updates. Already activated. I didn't want to boot from this. I wanted to actually boot from the drive itself. Alt, delete. Obviously that disk is in there. Either they installed XP or they were in the process of doing that. I just want to see it boot, like one of these machines boot. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna boot to an OS. It's trying to boot from, you know, from LAN or whatever. Failed. Operating system not found. So yeah. Okay, so we are somewhat back. So we'll hit the, as you seen in the power button, it did boot on and gave us the error messages about the battery. But yeah, since you see it booting and running, I'm gonna call it at this. Thank you for watching this video. I add some more in there, you know, about each machine and see if we can actually get these up and running fully. Yeah, 2 out of the 3 for this video work, you know, at least powered on. We didn't get a boot out of any of them, so I'll have to, you know, try to get a boot off them. I'll use my XP disk. I'll see what's up with this that was in here. But they seem to be good. And the other system I don't have adapter to, so I'm not gonna buy one for it, but maybe I'll run across one day. We'll clean them up, get whatever operating system on it, and we'll have an update for that video. Thank you for watching. So this is another one of these laptops that I got that, you know, I gave the dude $30 for. There's 4 of them in total, 3 older ones. This is a, what is this exactly? It's a Dell. This is a Dell Inspiron 1300. It's got an XP sticker here. Who knows if that's original? It does have XP on it. So I did clean it up off camera. So, unlike the other one, I kind of did a rough cleaning on camera. You see it cleaned up pretty good. Still, you know, it actually turned out worse right here. It's pretty hard to clean. I need to do a little better right here. The monitor cleaned up really good. So, it's I don't think on this other one I even showed it when I tested them all up, because I didn't have, he gave me a bag of adapters, and there's only like 2 actually laptop adapters, the rest weren't. So we have, I think these are speakers in front, indicators. At first when I plugged this in, because I found one that actually works, you see like right here, this universal. I got with a different laptop, an older one, a Dell, and it did have the adapter from this to the Dell end. So it's like, oh, maybe this will work. I only have like the larger round end for Dell and Lenovo, the square ends. But as you can see here, like, so I don't know how far I got into it. Probably I'm just basically showing how clean this is now. Little mark right here that's stained on. It did clean up pretty good, but it is like this style here. Here's where the heat sink is, and obviously the CPU is right here under here, and I can undo the heat sink and remove the cooler is right on the CPU itself. So I can unscrew this and then unscrew 4 bolts, and the cooler's off there. And then like right here, this is the bad part about it, is the USB ports are bad. These two are broken. The pins are in there and they're not touching. This one's bent, but it's not touching anything. And this is the only one that's good. There's no other, no other USB ports on it besides that one that would be functional. And then we got VGA and, and their normal hookups. They have microphone, headphone jacks. Okay, so like I said, I found, this one here, which is universal. It's an On brand, so it's a Walmart brand one. But this is only a 45 watt adapter. So when I plugged it in at first, I thought maybe the battery's trying to do something. Because when I first done it, it was, as you can see here, blinking green. Which means it's taking a charge, and it takes a while for that to like start blinking, orange. You see, you kind of would think, oh well, it's definitely taking, it's definitely taking a charge because that's what it says. I don't know, probably my adapter doesn't work, because if I try to power this on now, it would start up and just shut off. And you just keep this right here. So if I start it up now with this adapter, it would just shut off. But in the BIOS, it's showing that this is a 65 watt adapter. So, but it's only set. It's only 45. I mean, that's what I said, right? Yeah, it's a 45 watt adapter, and it thinks it's a 65. So it tries to charge the battery and power the unit, and it will turn on, but then it'll just shut off, right? But as you can see here, it's still indicating that it's green. So it's taking some kind of charge, right? But no, that after a while, like so now I actually mess with the cord, and now it's coming back to flashing orange and green. So at first I thought it was charging. I'm guessing maybe it's just the adapter. Like, see now, it is doing that. See that? I unplugged it, plugged it back in, so now it actually is showing. So at first I thought it was charging, but you can see here, no, not charging. So I'm gonna remove the battery, because if I don't, the system's just gonna shut off, and it's obviously a working hard drive in here, and this is locked. But with the battery, this feels really light to have, I don't want to boot it in with that with the battery in there for it just to turn off, because it doesn't have enough power. It doesn't have enough power to do both. So we'll hit the power button. See if it does anything. I think it takes. What the heck? Is it? Okay, there we go. I was like, what in the world? So we actually get a logo. We get the thing. And now we'll do F1 just to continue. It should go right into Windows XP. So the drive is not the fastest drive in the world. what it's doing there. Yeah, this adapter is pretty much garbage, but you can see it boots and runs like off of an old IDE. This has a IDE hard drive. I didn't click that on. I don't know what this install is trying to do, but we'll cancel that. I haven't really done too much with it. I just changed the background because, you know, I don't like showing the original stuff on there. I don't think there's there's nothing really on here that says someone else's name. But you can see this is another system that runs. As long as the battery's out of it, it will turn on and work with that little adapter I have. Yeah, and this is, what is this? And it should work with my mouse, right? Yeah, it should. So yes, alongside, we'll hook my mouse, which is nice. One of these are, because it's a mouse and keyboard. It should already be detected and working, so we'll do that. Over here. So this guy just says, and I'm hooked. My hand's in the way. So this one just says it is a Pentium M, and it's running at 1.6 gigahertz, and it has 504 megabytes of RAM. So it has okay. So it has 512 in RAM. I think it's just one stick, maybe two. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, the system's running, and this has Service Pack 3 on it. So yeah, and I don't have an IDE like adapter anymore, so I couldn't like, I don't know, like check the drive externally out of this system, but it seems halfway decent. Like I said, this is just a rough take. Yeah, you can see here the system works. Like, so that's 2 out of 3. The Toshiba has a bad hard drive in it, so I'll probably order another hard drive for it just to get that system up and running and see how it is. And what the, I don't even remember what I did with the disc. Like, look at these little, like, this is just a little side thing. I even picked this up from, it says, you know, Housewares, 50 cents. This is garbage. I just bought it for no reason, really, because it's 50 cents. Maybe we'll run something like this on here and see what this is about. If you want to see whatever this is, you know, it just says computer tools. But yeah, I paid 50 cents for it. It's probably archived somewhere. I could have downloaded it for free and put it on a disc myself. But this is original. How can you not be original? And it's dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. But otherwise, it looks in decent shape. Besides being dirty, and it has a disc in it. You know, has a disc, has the paperwork on it, and then another one I bought is in this drawer. And then they had this over there too. Like I said, I could probably just get this, find this somewhere. So it says Gateway 2000 service disc, version 3.1, and it has the disc in here, and it looks pretty good. Who knows if this even works? You know, I don't have a Gateway 2000 service disc, version 3.1. Then we got the rest of the stuff in here, like the warranty cards, the extra booklet that it comes with for the disc. It's all there. You know, I don't know. Original hardware. You know, can't say it's, you know, at least it's physical. Yeah, someone's gonna have this archive. There's no way that someone doesn't have this archive somewhere. get this back in here. Yeah, there's no way that someone doesn't have this archived. But it was 50 cents, so what do you admit? For two things I bought for 50 cents. And obviously I have an old Windows 7 Home Premiere disc too. This has actually never been activated. I actually have the sticker off of it inside the booklet, so this is actually has a working Windows 7 Home Premiere key actually to it too, because it's new. But get sidetracked. This is all about this laptop. You know, it turned out decent. You know, when I say decent, and I'm trying to use a mouse when I unplugged it. What else is see actually what? I can't remember what the... I don't think the video drivers are even on here, even that this was already pre-installed like this. So this, yeah, it doesn't have the video thing in it, so I didn't do any of the drivers or nothing for this one. I did for the other Dell, but it even says video controller. Maybe the drivers are still on here. Video adapters. So it has it on here. It's Intel, you know, it's the mobile Intel with 915M GMS. So it's and then it says 910 GML. So it does have the graphics driver on here. I don't know what this is for, but you can't tell. So let's let you see what I'm talking about. Like, so here is the drivers right here, and then we'll come down and open this up. This should be just a one-core CPU, right? Yeah, so we have a Celeron M processor running at 1.6 gigahertz, and then we have, try to get that to showcase. So then we have the mobile Intel 950 GM for graphics. So that's on there, which is kind of nice that it has everything to it. Yeah, I'm gonna still trying to use my mouse, so I'm going to call it at that. Just shut this down. Need to do that. And yeah, like I said, this is up and running. It just needs a new battery, which I'm not going to buy a battery for one of these old things. Maybe I'll try to do the same thing I was talking about before, trying to pull the battery out, try to force a charge to each cell using the little DIY power bank thing I have, and see if the battery can recover a little bit, enough that this system would actually put a charge into it. Maybe even get the battery to recover for like five minutes or so. That, I think that would be nice. Have a laptop, you know, that can get 5-10 minutes out of the battery, enough that if you're doing something on it, like with this older thing, what are you going to really do with it? But say someone is wanting to use this still, and they had XP, and they're just using it to save, like, you know, a recipe, or they're making notes or something like that on it. At least with the 5-minute, 10-minute battery, they can stop whatever they're doing and save it, you know? But as you can see here, it's such a nice day. Please, it said please, don't, you know, it up. This is a magnet. This is a bumper sticker. This is a magnet. I pulled off a little corner here, and then I took my knife on the other piece, which is going to be on the inside, so if I broke it here, flipped, went like that, and it stuck to this little knife. So this is a magnet, but I'm guessing they super glued it on. I cannot get it off. I can get it to reflect just right. You probably can't see, but right in here, you can even see where the glue that they used came out, and they just kind of did a crappy job wiping it away right here. Maybe it looked good. Yeah, that's super glued on there. Like, it'd be pretty hard to get off there, I guess. Like, in this magnet stuff, it just flaking away as you try to get it. You can see here, like, someone else tried to, and then I tried a little bit, and like that, you can see, like, that's what will happen. It just breaks away. I figured I'd just leave it on there. What's it matter? And that isn't the best looking laptop, and if I did a good job removing this, how long has this been sitting here? So is it to get this off here, it's gonna look new? Like if this was a real sticker on here and I got it off real easy, likelihood this will look brand new right here. This strip right here will look brand new. Then it would make the rest of this look that much not as good, I guess you could say, or worse off, because this would probably look new. But I'm guessing to take this off, because it seemed like they super glued it, it'd be just a nasty mess underneath here. I gotta have to probably remove all this paint and everything. So I think this is just gonna be left on here. It's kinda cool on there. It looks good. They did it at this angle here, which makes it look a lot nicer than just sticking it in the middle. Looks like they, you know, maybe they stuck it on there and that's where it's stuck since it's super glued. But yeah, if this was your laptop, right, and you just happen to be watching this, cool, you know. I think there's probably stuff still on here. I know there's a lot of music on here. That's the only thing I looked at. There's a lot of music on here, but the last time this was used was like 2000, I think 2010, something like that. So it's more than 14 years ago that any of them songs were put on here. But yeah, if this is your laptop and you're actually local, you could just try to pull some of this stuff off here. I'm guessing, you know, I did see like I didn't see the pictures physically, but the size in the pictures you can tell like or something there. Maybe there's pictures on it. It seems like there's probably pictures on here too. Maybe not, but like I said, if you're local and you just happen to see this, or you're local and you've seen this and you're like, hey, I know whose laptop that is, and then contact them and then leave me a private message, you know, and then I'll do, you know, arrange a time that you can come pick up whatever's on here off of it if there's anything on it. Otherwise, I'll just delete all that stuff off here and reset it, you know, reset this computer, and then put it away. And then maybe find someone in the building that maybe want it for something, a DVD player, you know, because it does have VGA out. If they have an old screen, they can do it, or just a little DVD player to have sitting around. I don't know what else. If it had a good battery, I say it'd be good. The power went off, you have a bigger portable DVD player. Yeah, we're gonna call it at that because I don't want to be too long of a video on an old, you know, old laptop. But like I said, this is an Inspiron 1300. Move the CPU, so more videos in all one day. So this is the Dell Inspiron. What is it? Inspiron 1501. Now I did get Windows XP loaded and running on this. Just slide this over. Pan it down. Like in the camera, it looks way cleaner than what it actually is. Like, now you can kind of see it. Like it's in pretty bad shape, you know, dirty wise. You know, system seems to work pretty decent. Screen, can't really tell because of glare. The screen's pretty dirty. I did open it already, and I added, you know, I cleaned the heatsink up because this thing was, when I tried, I put Chromo X Flex onto this drive. It's like after a while it would just shut off because it was getting so hot. If I remember, I'll put up the picture of the heatsink. Like it was like the heatsink dust was like this thick as this thumb drive all the way across. I didn't really have any airflow, so I cleaned that up, added new thermal paste to it. Just try to clean this up really quick. And I did do a little cleaning already because when I took it apart, you had to clean this. You know, you had to take the screen and all that stuff off. So behind here where this is almost impossible to clean, it could be, but it's a little trickier. I cleaned that inside there. Cleaned all around the edges where these two pieces would clip together. Keyboard has to come out too for this to come apart. So I cleaned around the inside of this plastic and where the keyboard would match, because that's like really hard to get to if you don't clean it like that. So I did clean that part. Almost a good, you know, a cheap one would be better. So you see, like, you can still see it's like right in here. And cleaning wise, I go like this. I just put this on here. It was drying like super fast today. What the? Okay, so then like this, since this side is dry, I go over it with the dry part. That turns out really good. I do that on all my screens, except what I just did. You know, just get it wet again. Usually I have two cloths. And this screen is technically bad. It does have some little weird artifacts in here that he gave me. So I have I don't know if this is original to this, but it is a Dell original power supply to it. What's nice is these things have super long cables on them. Like that's one thing that's nice about it. So we'll plug this in. I also have to hook in this because these two don't work. Obviously you could do the double tap thing to get it to work. And we'll see it's telling me that is. And I also did, let's unplug this real quick. I did add these little cheap things to the bottom. I found these on old monitor and I just kept them. I just restuck them on here. They're just little feet that don't match on, but they seem to be holding really good. And it's enough that they don't hit on these little tabs anymore, because before it was just hitting on these and rotating because these weren't hitting. So now it sets on here and it, you know, it kind of grips in decently. Let's kick this back in, slow this back over here. We'll hit the power button. And this thing seems to take a little while to boot up. The motherboard seemed perfectly fine and it didn't look like anything was really out of place. We have our Dell logo and it says Inspiron 15. And it always says this too because it's giving me warning, the battery cannot be detected. This system will be unable to charge this battery. Obviously, yeah, the battery's bad. What I was thinking is I open this up and I do have like a cheap DIY power bank. You know, like this one's charged, right? Something. It's not like this, but this gives you an idea. It's like this big, and it just takes 18650 cells. I could try to use that other one I have. Open this up and try to manually charge these cells without even removing them. See if I can put enough of a charge in it that this system will recognize it, and it will put a charge in it. I doubt if that worked, it will probably not be that good anyways. But you have to hit continue because that warning. And here is the line, like I was saying. And this is kind of like, I don't know if you can see that. You can barely see it. So there's, right, the line's right here and then a middle strip in the middle. So basically where this white is was over the whole screen when I tried to put any Linux software. Like I tried Linux Mint, Ubuntu, Linux Lite, what was the other one? Linux, a newer Linux. I think a Linux Mint, something that's meant for older systems, and every single one I tried, the whole screen just went white with a bunch of black lines in it. But it would start up at first and then give me the option to run it or to install it. That part did fine, but when I went to install it, it didn't. So I just grabbed my XP disk out, threw Windows XP on it. And I did upgrade it from the 1 gig of RAM, because it had two 512 sticks in it, to two 1 gig sticks. So now it has 2 gigs of RAM in it instead of just one. Like I said, the original had 1 gig of RAM and now it has 2. I repeat myself a lot, but XP is running and it is decent, right? I'll have to slide you down a minute once I get this up here. Yeah, this is like an older version of Windows. It's like off my thumb drive, off a old disk I have, right? And it's an old disk that I got from a bunch of computers I bought in the past from a seller from like almost like a flea market or something. Like when you could go buy these knockoff speakers and stuff sells, that's what it is from. And the guy technically wasn't supposed to be selling non-working stuff, but he did anyways. Like, he gave me, I bought like 8 of them. It was like a long time ago. Like, the glare is terrible. So you can see here we have an Athlon 64 X2 dual core processor, and it says it's a TK 53. If you know if this system can be upgraded, let me know. I doubt if it's even worth it, but it's showing 1.87 gigs of RAM. So before it only had, you know, less than, you know, it had the 1 gig of RAM in it. And, you know, like, overall, once I finish cleaning it, I don't think cleaning really will help it too much because it has a lot of flaws in it. But you see, the system is up and running. You know, if you're watching this, what, I don't know, what exact Linux could I run on this system that didn't give me that error? Or what am I doing wrong with it? Because, you know, I'm pretty new with Linux, you know. I ran it a long time ago, but not very much. But yeah, I'm gonna, this, nothing really else to say about it. I have a video showing of it, you know, booting without an OS, and I got the OS up here and running. I did, you know, because you can see we have network drivers, we have it. So Dell still has the drivers for this system online, right? So I went ahead and I used my, you know, different computer, and I downloaded it, put it on a thumb drive, and then, you know, moved them over to here and installed it. So we have the video drivers. So what I forgot all about that. So we go to hardware, device manager. And there's one other driver, I don't know what. All the drivers I found had nothing to do with this, and it says other driver, it says basic system device. That's the only one I'm missing now. Like, you know, like, here's a video card or chipset, whatever is in here. We have an ATI Radeon Express 1150. So just take this down for you can see it too, right? If the camera will allow it. So right here's the graphics right here. Maybe a little bit hard. We'll show you processor. So here's probably a better shot of what processor is in it. Like I said, it does have, you know, it does have the drivers on it. I did the network drivers, I did the Wi-Fi drivers, even though that this is not going to be hooked up to the internet. But I did them drivers too. I did the sound drivers, so we do have sound. We all that function works. Yeah, leave it down in the comments below. You know, what do you think? You know, this old computer, like my favorite computer that looks similar to this but is a little bit different. I probably mentioned in every video was a Dell XPS M1710. I really like that laptop. It lasted us a long time. Like, unlike this one, it had 2 vents in the back, you know, for here, and obviously that was a 17 point some inch laptop. This is a 15, but I made my own deal with cardboard here that vented and sealed this off, and I had 80 mil fans. You can't even see where my hands are, like right up here. So the cardboard come up this way, and then the bottom stayed flat, and this kind of come up, you know, at an angle, and then the 2 fans are hitting it. So I had that thing pulling air through it all the time with the 2 fans, and I had that hooked into adapter, AC to DC adapter that was 12 volts, and amazingly that Dell let me overclock it, and you know, I upgraded it, I think, to a 2.0. So it wasn't even the best CPU you can have in it, but then, and the video card wasn't the best. It just had the, I think, 256 gigs of RAM on it, so it was like a GT 7950, but I had the CPU and the video card overclocked like extremely. Like, without the fans on it, it would overheat and it would just stop working. I put them 2 fans on it, boom. World of Warcraft played amazing on that computer. Obviously that was like 20 years ago, like that long ago, but it played amazingly on that system. And it went from, like, it was still playable, but almost almost double. When I overclocked it, it went almost to double the performance. Due to that cooling mechanism I had, made it non-mobile anymore. The battery still worked, but it made it non-mobile. And my wife used that probably for a long time until I upgraded my system, and then she got my old system. Then I ended up trading that or selling it off. No, I traded that system. Matter of fact, I traded that. It's going to be just a short story into the end, right? I traded that system off, and I didn't think smart enough. I traded it for another Dell XPS. It might have been newer, so it had a Q6600 in it. I don't remember the RAM or SSD size, but it had an AMD 5770 in it. So he plugged it in. I seen it worked. Problem was, he didn't have video drivers on it. There was no graphic card drivers on it whatsoever. So it displayed. I get it home and I install the video card drivers in it, and it just boom, artifacts. The card was garbage. And then I couldn't do any repairs to them because I didn't have nowhere to go to try to fix it. And that card was bad. I should have double checked. I didn't even think about checking it to see if it had the video card drivers on it, because I was like, oh, it's showing an image, so it must be good, but no video card drivers on it. So yeah, that was crazy. And I was running Windows, I think Windows 8, maybe, no, yeah, I originally upgraded to Windows 8, and then I upgraded again to Windows 8.1, so mine was the Dell XPS M1710, whereas when running Windows 8.1, and all the drivers were working perfectly fine on it, yeah, and I like that system. Obviously today, that system wouldn't be, worth the money. They go for extremely high and good, in good condition, but I just wanted to mention that. I like the look of them, not this one particular, but we can see, the video was pointing out how the system up and running. You can see the monitor hinge seems to be pretty good. It does have the little play, but it holds in place. Yeah, what do you think about this Dell Inspiron 1501? And if you made it all the way this far, being in 20 minutes, what Linux would you put on this? I don't remember. I think one was like version 18 something for Ubuntu's, and like a 19. I don't remember that, but I tried probably at least 8 different, probably 3 versions, different older ones. I tried at least 5 or 6 different ones I had already on disk, and some of them were from like 2020, some of them were 2018, and it still gave me that same effect. So if you know something that I'm missing why it would do that, let me know. Maybe I need to hook an external monitor up and then install Linux on it. But XP is running perfectly fine on it, and I'm going to call it a wrap on this video. And I will clean it up a little bit more. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think almost like I would just want maybe $10 for it, because I could keep these adapters and use these on better systems still. Maybe I just get rid of it for like 10. I gave 30 for this and 2 others, and then the Lenovo that actually fully works, that wasn't supposed to work. So I can make all my money back off that Lenovo. I could probably triple my money off that Lenovo, and then I still kind of would like to get at least $10 off of these due to the adapters. Like I said, I could use these adapters on newer systems. At least 10. Maybe I'll just give them away to people in the building. I'll take them and be using them, playing old, retro games, or maybe watching videos and stuff on them. If someone, just happens to come across and they need one, I might give it to them. Who knows? But I'm going to say this. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to go on to the next system and record that. And so have a lovely day, a nice day, night, evening, whatever you're doing.